the FREEWING 80mm F-5N Tiger II in the Sundowner's livery. I've given her a clear coat and added a KM model afterburner version 3, just the yellow flame, not the blue flame. I've got a 7-channel Limit RX stabilized receiver with just wind mitigation. That's all it has. The one other mod I did is because the front fuse you have to glue on, so it's famous for flexing and you're losing your hatch. So what I did was I took two, not only did I glue the thing together obviously, but I took 2 of the very long hardwood tongue depressors and I hot glued them to the sides of the channel there along that seam to strengthen. Now granted, it doesn't give you much protection sideways, but up and down strength, it's very solid. So help strengthen that up. And I gave her, I think I told her I gave her a clear coat of my polyacrylic. All right, this is the maiden flight. The one thing I've done with her is taxied her around the driveway. All right, we're going to take off in our high range. Timer set for 3.5 minutes. Let's do a control surface check. Right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down the elevator, right rudder, left rudder. Now, just like I did with the J10, I followed the manual precisely. Okay, exactly what it recommended. This is how I set the elevator up for the line up with the servos, the rates they suggested. It's exactly by the book. To me, it's way too much flap, but this is what the book called for. So, but we'll go over all that afterwards, if we survive. Running a 40, I think it's a 4300 SMC. Probably not going to be doing much with flaps today.
Starting the fun over. Set the Tiger free.
All right. Go. Just a touch of up elevator. Yeah, man, she's a good flying jet.
Gear down. Remaining 2 minutes. Landing flaps.
Well, no, landing flaps are good. Wow, what a great flying jet! Oh yeah, she's got this.
Great.
Oh man, yeah, those flaps. Perfect. That is one great flying jet, man. I turned my gyro rates all the way down to nothing. Oh yeah. When I deployed them landing flaps, I didn't notice any pitch up or down at all. But there is a small mix. All right, we'll do takeoff flaps just to see. she's wanting to get light quick. Well, y'all that recommended this to me, y'all were right. She's fast.
Gear down. Landing flap.
Oh man! Oh man, what a wow! I am so impressed. Holy crap, that thing flies great.
Flaps up.
I know when y'all were watching that and you could hear me, you knew I got a smile that's pushing my ears back. I tell you what, that thing flies great. High rates are the way to go. All right, I had 25 seconds left. Let's go back over the, wow. That thing flies great. Man, it flies good. Feels so good. Feels so solid, locked in the air. That was fun. That was fun. All right, wow, I'm just shaking. All right, I'm going to just undo the battery just a little bit. We'll put it right back because I want to show you battery placement, but I can't fit well, maybe I can fit it in there. Hold on. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay, 45%, so really 3.5 minutes is fine. I'm trying to be a little conservative because I don't know the plane, but yeah, wow, what a great flyer. All right, real quick while I got the canopy off. Now I haven't had that much fun on a Maiden in a long time, and that really went well. That really went well. Now this is the version 3 KM model afterburner, so it's not as bright as the version 5s, but it's what I had in stock, so that's what I put in there. I happen to have one, so make sure that latch is down. All right, let's talk about, here I am. Right off the bat, let's talk about where I got my battery. Now this is a 4300, 4300 SMC pack. So it's one of the older ones, but got maybe that wheel well there. Let me get closer where you can really see it. About a finger width back from there. If this was a heavier 4000, I would put it right there, but being as this is the 4000 class, I found that on a windy day, I wanted it to favor nose heavy. Not be nose heavy, just favor nose heavy. On a windy day, that's what you want. 7-channel Luminar X is in there. I like checking CG with the gear down as if she's going to land, because that's when it's the most critical. Okay, and as you can see, she's starting to kind of favoring nose heavy. CG is measured from the rear of the nozzles forward, and it's between 555 and 540 millimeters back from the leading edge, from the nozzles. That puts it right directly across here. If you see, got these hard plastic points here. I put a glue mark, split the difference, a drop of hot glue, and wrote 555 and 540. Right directly across this section here is your CG. So if you put your fingers in the middle of them hard plastic points, that's the perfect CG spot. Two Brothers loves this jet. He's got the red, white, the Swiss livery one, and he even admitted that it's a little slightly nose heavy on this one, flies better. It is not a Death Dorito, okay? If you get this too tail heavy or too much towards aft CG, she's gonna fly squirrely on you. So slightly on the nose heavy side, like you would with a Warbird, is great. The gear, you have to glue the gear in, which is no big deal. There is no blue box, so the gear go up and down quickly. And they're very effective. Let's talk about our rates real quick. Okay. Can you see the control surfaces okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, like I said, I got a Lemon RX Gen 2, so I don't have stabilization. I don't have AS3X settings. I just have the gyro itself, the wrist wind gyro. But my flying rates that I got, ailerons are at 95 with 40% expo. Elevator is at 85 with 40% expo. And rudder is 100 with 50% expo, and that 50% that helps with the steering. Okay. Timer was 3.5 minutes. You saw I got a good 40% left on the battery, so really 3.5 minutes. Maybe even push it to 4, but I don't suggest it. 3.5, leave it alone. I have my rates adjustable on this knob. So to show you the reaction of the gyro with a knob where it's got now, probably when I get closer you can hear it. It's very slight. Very slight, the movement. Okay. When I took off though, I had the rates turned up a little bit, about half. Okay. And I started noticing she was starting to oscillate in the air, so I turned them down. And I found that having the slight bit of correction from the gyro is the slightest amount for the Lemon RX is perfect for this jet. She doesn't need much. She doesn't need much. You could even get away with no gyro with this jet if you wanted to. Similar to the Mirage 2000, which is the counterpart to this one. You can have a gyroed receiver, but very little correction because they're going so fast over that wing that you'll get an oscillation so quickly. So really next to nothing. Okay. All right. Well, that was the maiden flight. Very one of the most successful maiden flights. Orientation is an issue. Okay, I can tell you that right now. But I was going to get the red and white one, but I just love the way this one looked. Okay, because there's more to owning these models than just flying them. You're also looking at them in the house, and you know, when this thing's sitting on the shelf or on your plane stand, you want to be able to look at this thing and say, man, that thing looks great, and really enjoy it visually too. That's part of it too. But when it comes to orientation, make sure it's a good bright clear day so you can really see it. The idea, I was able to see these missiles and the contrast colors, that did help. It did help. Be careful with these missiles. They're only attached at this part, and it's just very weak foam, and they just ride along there. So I took a little dab of glue and actually glued them against the plastic railings that way, because they can easily get, you hit them on stuff, they bend out. The other thing is storage. The tail, this is foam, not plastic. I wish this was plastic. I'm sure there's a 3D printed part, but it's very hard, firm foam. The other alternative to standing it up is on its nose. The nose does not come off, but this section here is hard plastic. So you can carefully put it in the corner against the wall like this, or it'll stand just fine. It'll stay this way, level on its tail, but I like to keep the gear down and kind of let it ride against the wall like that. Small wheels, but you do have suspension, so our grass is a bit too thick for this. If this is more like a putting green, maybe, but it's very small wheels, so this is more of a runway type jet anyways. So, well, there you go. That was a successful flight of the Tiger II 80mm, the F-5 Tiger. God bless y'all. Gabriel, thank you for filming. And man, I tell you what, that was fun, and I am pumped. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.